This is episode 110 of the Wilderness Locals podcast. It's been a while. Wacey and I just kind of catch up and talk about a couple things we've been doing. This podcast is brought to you by Kifaru International. Our friends at Kifaru are all settled into Wyoming now and back operating at more than full speed. They have faster lead times than they've ever had before and the same great gear. Kifaru.net. There are a few groups in North America that put boots to the ground, like the Wild Sheep Society of BC. Contrary to popular belief, Wild Sheep Society BC isn't just about sheep. The majority of their projects benefit a variety of ungulates and other wildlife. Check them out at www.wildsheepsociety.com. Great folks over there. I'm a Monarch member. You should be too. And as always, go check out our friends over at Just Shooting Arrows. Just Shooting Arrows is BC's premier archery shop.
Neck to red, my neck's too red. They said my neck's too red. Yeah, they said my dream was a dead end. They said people like me don't trend. My slang won't ever get there. They say my neck was too red. Neck too red.
What are you up to?
Fucking, I don't even know. Just unplugging computers and shit.
We almost had a podcast done and you unplugged that bastard.
Oh, fuck. I don't.
Still doing this shit, huh, Wacedog?
Still here.
Nice.
Are you doing an intro song?
I will. I think we discussed what I'm going to put on it. But it'll be fun. So you're getting ready for Bighorn?
Big horns.
Bighorns. When was the last time we did a podcast?
I think Goat Recap a year ago.
No, that wasn't the last one. I did one with the boys at Spike Camp.
What was the last one? What was the last one I was on?
Oh, I don't know.
You know what I was listening to the other day is the one you did with Marvin.
Marvin, it's best. He's probably out like wrestling a goat right now.
May 15th, Spike Camp. And then we did one March 1st with Snyder. I think I was on that one.
Yeah, you were. Our boss.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So March, yes,
in a bit.
I think people are catching on that we're paid off Kifaru shills.
You think so?
I think they're starting to realize, like, these guys would just say good things about Kifaru no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, they could put out anything. I tell you guys to buy it. You know what I'm saying?
That's not beer. It's sparkling water because I'm hard.
I'm drinking iced coffee because gangster.
Kifaru is coming out with some stuff anyway.
Coming out with some bangers.
I'm taking the doll on my bighorn hunt.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Doll and organizer guide lid. And that's it. It's big enough. It seems like my shit isn't like, I don't have a lot of stuff, but I guess my stuff takes up volume.
You're a big boy.
Like you put 4 days of food in there and it just seems like a lot of volume.
Yeah, I mean,
heavy.
Well, food's heavy. I mean, it depends. What's your what's your kind of rule on food for? Do you go by weight or do you go by calories? What are you doing?
Well, I used to count it all out, but I don't anymore. I just go by weight. I just know that we do our own freeze dried meals. So she'll make a meal and then I'll freeze dry it and then put it in a Mylar bag. So,
you guys are in one of our group chats. You're always talking about weight of gear and bags. And I don't know, to be completely honest with you, I never weigh anything. It's just like, I kind of set my shit up as Spartan as I possibly can. And then the food is sort of like, my food has room for improvement in the sense that I could eat it, but my food is kind of, I know what I'll eat in a given amount of time. And I don't know. I just like, I've never really bothered weighing anything. It's like kind of, if it's in there, I absolutely need it. And then if there's luxury items that go in, it really depends on the hunt. Like goat hunting, I'm not bringing any luxury items. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I like to weigh everything. So I know.
Yeah.
Right now, but like this year, I didn't really like weigh everything because everything I had, I know what I need. But there was a few things like I took out, like I had a salt and pepper shaker. I took it out.
Yeah, I don't need that.
Just like little things like that. I do like putting seasoning on your Mountain House, but fuck it.
You don't like buying Mountain Houses?
No, well, or meals or whatever. I just add it.
Okay, not the ones you make at home, but the ones that are store bought. What's your favorite one? Your favorite?
Well, I've always, from the beginning of time, it's always been Mountain House spaghetti and meat sauce. That's the one.
Yeah, 100% agree. 100% agree.
That was always my go-to, but there's so much salt in it, right?
That's not a bad thing though when you're dehydrated and been sweating your dick off for a week.
Yeah, but I can't really eat that shit anymore. That's why we make our own with a freeze dry machine. Freeze dry.
Yeah, that's cool.
So if you're gonna freeze dry your food, one thing I learned is freeze drying really takes the flavor out of everything. So like if you season like a pasta, how you would normally eat it, I put about 3 times the seasoning. And then you put freeze dry it and then you get it normal. That's it. Then it'll taste normal.
Oh, no way. It's interesting.
Yeah, I don't
I've been whenever I go through the Starbucks drive-thru, I'm always like, hey, throw me 4 of them sriracha packets. And they always look at you like there's something wrong with you. But like I have a glove box full of the things now. So I just throw one of those in kind of per meal. And I just hose everything down with sriracha now. Because they're like ketchup packets, right?
Mm-hmm.
It makes it makes it a little more tolerable, you know.
There's a sriracha shortage right now.
Fuck, it's all in my glove box.
It's $70 a bottle now.
Look at this. I should start selling them.
I've never had it, I don't think. Maybe. I don't know.
It's just hot sauce.
I don't really want to eat like hot sauce on the mountain is like I struggle.
Why?
I don't need to be like digesting hot sauce out my ass.
I don't know. It's just like for me, it'll get me to eat at least, right? Like hot sauce, lots of pepper, whatever. I find if food's bland, I'm like, meh, not interested.
Huh.
Which is funny because in regular life, I could care less like about food. I'm like a rice and chicken full-time kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So doll for Bighorn.
Mm-hmm.
With a guide lid or just a regular lid?
It's
OG guide lid?
Yeah, the OGL.
Nice. Well, that's the organizer. So organizer or the regular one?
Organizer.
Nice. I like the organizer, but I never know what to put in those pockets with the diagonal zippers because whenever you open it, like if you fill those up with jubes, the jubes just fall out when you unzip.
So one side has my Sitka Dew Point pant and the other side has my Sitka Dew Point coat.
Hell yeah. That's a great use of that because those pockets are actually pretty small.
Yeah. And then in the top pocket, I have my Kawa spotter in the top pocket.
Cowabunga.
Yep.
That's cool. You're loving the spotter?
It's good. I'll never ever get rid of it.
I sold my STM in anticipation of the new Cowabungas coming out because I wanted to play with one. And then I don't know, I got distracted and probably spent the money on other things. So now I'm sort of shopping again and trying to decide what I want. But I've been looking at that tiny new Swaro seems pretty cool to me. It's like a 56, right? But I'm kind of, part of me honestly wants to just borrow spotters this year, and then when we're hunting muleys together, I want to look through yours, like in the field, you know.
I think Cal has better glass than Swirl myself.
Whoa,
that's a statement, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fighting words.
I've owned a Swirl and then I owned a cow, and I think the cow is better.
Cowabunga. We're not paid to say that, right?
No.
Hmm.
Cow is like a bird watching thing.
I messaged with them a little bit because I was like, "You got somebody that wants to do a podcast?" And they're like, "Yeah." And then I forgot to follow because we're bad podcast hosts.
Mm-hmm.
Should we talk about you getting ready for Bighorn, or should we talk about bags? Because I am trying something new on a backpack hunt. I'm taking my Hellbender with a 55-liter dry bag in lieu of a hoodlum, because they work out to about the same cubic dimensions. So
yeah.
I think in the dry bag, I'm gonna basically just go bag, pad, pillow, camp, yada yada yada, and then basically anything that I would have with me on a normal hunt, like even a day hunt, would be in the Hellbender with my rain gear my rain gear and a couple other things in a large belt pouch on the back of the Hellbender. Then I'm going to go spotter and tripod in the Nalgene pocket, strapped in on a compression strap. And thought I'll leave the sling empty for whatever.
What do you bring for tent?
6-man TP.
Oh, that's right. So you guys are going to divvy that up or what?
Yeah, we're gonna all pack a little piece of it. I have a carbon pole for it, so honestly, it doesn't really weigh anything. Like it's pretty light. Obviously no stove, probably don't need a liner. Maybe bring the bug door, maybe not. I don't know. Depends. See how we're feeling. But yeah, I'm gonna jam that in the dry bag too. Give the pole to somebody else to carry. And yeah, sweet.
That Swaro 56 is $3,000 at Precision Optics.
Shout out Omar. How much is the Kawa?
I paid $2,300.
Cowabunga. That's a good savings, and I bet you they're very similar. I think there's actually a really good review on S&S Archery.
Yeah, there is.
Comparing the two of them.
I paid $2,300 though last year. So
yeah, so they're probably $38,000 in Justin Trudeau rubles.
That's a good chunk of change for a 55 mil spotter. But honest to God, like there, he got a 66 because they just came out with a 66. I think that would be the sweetest scope.
Everybody always just says Mindful J, but I think we should just call him Big J.
Big J.
Big J.
Mindful. So
Mindful J. Big J.
I like his reviews, but we'll see what his review is on the 66. I think it'll be good. I think that 66 will knock it out of the park, to be honest.
I was just I was texting with him about it.
I bet you that 66 will knock the Swaro 65 out of the park. That's my prediction.
So he told me his like initial thoughts on it, but I don't want to mess up his review, so I won't. No spoiler alert, but I think he's stoked on it, and yeah, so
I think Swirl, like,
cool.
here's the thing with Swirl, they never lose they never lose their value.
Yeah,
they have such a good name, and they are really like top of the line glass, like the best glass you can get. You can never lose value on a Swirl. Kawa doesn't have that following in the hunting world as much.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're starting to gain a little more traction now, but I think the Kawa resale wouldn't be as high possibly as the Swirl, but I don't know for sure.
Even when I bought my last Swirl, I was already banging the Kawa drum. Like, I really want to try these, and I just hadn't seen one in person. So, yeah, no, I honestly can't wait to play with yours, but we'll see if I buy that 66 between now and then. There's a good chance I do.
Honest to God, if I would have known, because I didn't want the 77, I don't want to pack it. And if I'd have known they were coming out with a 66, I would have probably waited.
Yeah, why don't you buy the 66 and then give me your 55?
That's 66. We'll have to ask Jay. I bet you that 66 is like $3,300. I bet.
Why don't you give me your 55 and I'll take the 66 as well?
Okay.
you buy them.
I just give you all my spotters.
I don't see the problem.
One of the big reasons I actually went to the 55 was it was a pound and a half lighter than the Swirl, something like that.
Yeah. Big Wacedog's ultimate quest to be ultralight.
I'm always chasing ounces.
Yeah.
So some guys will be like, oh, 55 isn't good enough for sheep, but I mean, it's as good. This 55 performs better than my 65 or whatever Swirl was. 65, yeah. I think it was.
I think we're starting to seem like we're paid by Kawa.
I don't think Kawa has any hunters on the pro staff. That'd be sweet though.
Pro staff. That's pretty fun. Yeah, so that's sort of my optics situation right now. I'm going to, my buddy Tommy bought a Leica 65 that he doesn't know it yet, but I'm going to steal it throughout the course of the season until I probably just buy that Kawa 66. So
I don't think you can go wrong like with Leica, Swirl, or Kawa. I think Leica's got the rangefinder game on lock though. They do, yeah.
Yeah, they're really nice.
Like my optics are like Swirl binos, Kawa spotter, and a Leica rangefinder. I've kind of just like picked the best of,
Yeah, that's cool. It's hard to beat Swirl binoculars. Like ELs and now NLs are fabulous too. They're just so good.
Mm-hmm.
But
super expensive, but that's okay. You can't take it with you, Wacedog. It's money.
Speaking of binoculars, we got some chest rigs. The walk-in junk drawer situation has been expanded.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Are you do? You're into it? I
like it.
Tell me your thoughts.
Well, Barkle sent me a Sitka one last year.
Yeah.
And it opened backwards.
It doesn't open backwards. It opens.
It folds towards your chest.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's where we need to be with binoculars in 2023 with vinyl cases.
I have things that I like about both of them, and things that I dislike about both of them. Being completely transparent here. We're talking about the new Kifaru Bino Harness too.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. For me, one of the things is your Bino Harness has got to open frontwards. It's gotta.
Yeah.
I can't have it open towards your chest. It's just a pain in the ass. And you're trying to wedge the binos to get them out. I don't like that.
You like the flip forward situation.
That's where I'm at. Like the Sitka harness wasn't bad. It's pretty streamlined,
What are some things that you like about the Sitka harness?
Well, I do like the kind of the fit of it. Seems like it really kind of molds around your chest pretty good. But I feel like with the Sitka, they stick out quite a bit more than the Kifaru does.
Yeah.
Not as tight to your chest.
I really like on the Sitka, the back panel has a pretty cool pocket situation. There's one full depth slide in pocket, and I actually used to jam my phone in that. And then I was actually able to run the camera on the phone with it slid in there. It would clear. So I'd put it on wide angle, hit record and jam it in there. And it's like the best mounted little camera ever. It's pretty rad for taking fun videos. And then there's a zippered pocket on the back too, which is fantastic for, flat, low profile stuff that you don't need often and don't want to lose. I really like that. Kifaru has a pocket back there in theirs, and it's a full depth, full width thing. So it's like great to jam stuff into, but it's like a black hole. It's like you can jam a lot of stuff in there. So that's pretty nice. But I can see myself putting stuff in there and then forgetting it's in there forever.
I like the Kifaru. I think for me, I don't know. I've had all of Bino Harnesses. The only ones I haven't owned is a marsupial.
Yeah.
And a Kuyu.
Have you had the FHF one?
Oh, and FHF. Yeah, no. But I've had
I've had the FHF ones. They have a nice harness. The one I had was this is probably going back 6 or 7 years. It was the open side one. And I found like hunting elk and your binos get filthy.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Kifaru one's badass. I really like the stash pocket and the rangefinder pocket are pretty trick units. They zip up and have some nice compartments in them, and they ride real nice. You can adjust them really well. You're running a small for your 8x42s, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have a small and a large, and I kind of settled into the small with my 10x42s, but I think I would probably be well served to go to a medium, but I'm kind of, these things is working well. They're getting stretched out.
I just leave my hot binos in them and they form.
Yeah, me too. Pretty nice. I'm going to take them on this muley hunt I'm going on next week. Yeah. And there's Big J from Mindful just texted me.
What did he say?
It's a photo of him and his daughter with the salmon. It's wicked. They're on a fishing charter.
Oh, sweet.
I really like that dude, man.
Jay?
Yeah. I enjoy his video. I enjoy his videos and his reviews.
I think he found his groove.
Yeah, that's the jam.
I think that's where he needs to be. Mindful reviews. Because he's one of those guys that's like, if you ask me what tent is better, I'd be like, I don't know. That one's lighter. That one's lighter. Like, this is how his mind works. It's very thorough, you know?
Yeah, analytical. It's wicked.
So it's good for guys that are very like, that need help. There's a lot of people that need help. A lot of fucking people.
I need help.
I was talking to a guy last night. He's going on a sheep hunt and his bag's 80 pounds.
Whoa. Is that weapon, food, water, everything?
I guess, yeah.
With water, right? That's with water. He's not packing another 10 pounds of water, is he?
Oof, I don't know. I didn't really ask. He just said he's going in at 80 pounds. I'm like, if you guys kill a sheep, you're coming out at 150. Or you're burning everything you own in a fucking pile.
What's I mean, on a 10-day hunt, how much does your food weigh?
I don't know, dude. Like, because I freeze dry it and we do our own packaging, which is like, we build our Mylar bags, right? So
sounds like a lot of work, Lacey.
So you can you cut them like they're in rolls, right? So you just cut them to
that's what I do with Food Saver bags too. Like, I repack all of my freeze dried.
So I'm like light. Everyone says, "Oh, I don't make
I don't make it myself. I'm not a psychopath.
Everyone's like, oh, I'm a pound and a half a day. And I'm not. I can tell you, I don't know. I haven't weighed it, but I bet you I'm under a pound of food a day, probably.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Huh.
Just seems lighter. I don't know. It just seems like with the packaging on like Peak refuels and stuff and all that shit, it's just heavy. It's heavy.
I just find it super bulky too. There's like 4 inches of packaging on each side of the thing that aren't the actual food. And like and for me in a food safe bag, I just spread it out flat, suck all the air out of it and seal it up. And then basically if my food gets stacked up at one end, I just interlock them, and I can get 7-8 days of food in a guide lid, not the OGL, but the regular guide lid. I can pack a ton of food in that thing by doing it that way. But do you know how much you are a day, like weight wise for food?
I don't know. It's got to be under a pound, I would say, per day. Well, 16 ounces in a pound, right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I never sold drugs. Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah.
No, same.
16 ounces. Yeah, 16 ounces in a pound. So I bet you I'm fucking maybe probably a pound, 14 to 16 ounces a day. I don't bring a whole bunch. Just, I don't know. I have a lot of fat. I have a lot of fat that I can burn.
I'm in the same boat, dude. I have a lot of fat I can burn too, but
this is my thing though. If you can't go in, you're going in at 80 fucking pounds plus, you need to like sit down and have a serious conversation with yourself of what the fuck's going on. And you can cut weight without it being crazy expensive. You can cut shit. Yeah. You can cut like 90% of the guys carry jet boils. Those things are like 1.2 fucking pounds. You can go on Amazon and buy a fucking I bought a Soto Amicus and the River Pot. They're both like 3.5 ounces. It was like 7 ounces for my cook system now. Like I just shave here and there like that. And so my bag base weight. So this is no gun, no water, no food. This is basically what's in my bag all the time. Like my camp tent, everything is 30 pounds even.
You want me to weigh my setup tonight without any food?
Yeah.
Tell you
so you can bank on your water. So one liter of water is 2.2 pounds.
Yeah.
And I get really nervous about water up high now because I've almost died 2 times.
What if it's really heavy water?
Hey?
I'm just kidding.
So for me, I carry a 3 liter and then I have a backup 4 liter bag. Yeah. So that's 7 liters. So that's about 15 pounds of water that I'll hump to the top. And I don't like just walking up without any water. Chances of finding water up top in early season are fucking next to none. Hardly, I find.
It depends where you are, but yeah.
Depends, right? Maybe you can find something that's seeping out somewhere, but.
Yeah. So
you add 15 pounds to just take my base weight, add 15 pounds is 45 pounds. That's just the water. Right?
Yeah. 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 I don't know, man. Like I said, I've never weighed it. I should. I'll weigh I'm going to run that Hellbender with a dry bag and I'll weigh that tonight. And then
fucking look at Ronnie though. Like when Ronnie told me a story about that time that he humped like fucking 17 liters up the fucking mountain or something.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like if it's a new area and you're uncertain, you don't know if there's water up high, you're going to bring the water just to get up there and dump it out because you got fucking water, right?
He's the best. Ronnie is he's 10 out of 10. Like, I mean, that story about packing apples on a sheep hunt, like just because every time he eats an apple, his bag gets lighter and he's like eating them as a treat. It's like a mental reward. That's some like high level savage, like on the verge of being a psychopath type of mind game with yourself.
He said that the one time he was so thirsty because I was telling him about our goat hunt and how thirsty I was. And he's like, one time I was on a hunt with my dad and there was one little pool of water and there was a dead caribou in it, like bloated and rotting. And he's like, I got to drink this water. And his dad's like, don't do it, son. But I'm like, I know that feeling of that level of thirst. I know that feeling.
The thing with Ronnie though is like the level of thirst that it would take for him to get there is like leaps and bounds beyond the level of thirst that it would take us to get there. You know what I mean? He's like, for such like a nice family dude and like completely normal seeming on the outside to the you know, just the world, like normal. When you want to talk about normal appearing dudes that are just hard as nails, that dude is as hard as they get.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was funny when we were on the way down with our goats last year. You're like, this is the hardest pack out I've ever had. And I started laughing, which I might have been a bit delirious, but it's like, I don't know, man, you got to go on some hunts with Ronnie and he just like walks your feet off.
Mm-hmm.
Just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Have I ever sent you that video where we're packing out a muley that I shot and he's like, 5 hours in and we're 10 minutes from camp and like Ronnie doesn't swear, right? And I'm like trying just to not be like, dude, fuck off, I am dying. like and we were still like another 3 hours from camp. He was just trying to get me motivated, you know. So just so hard, right?
But once you do those kind of pack outs, so you don't like them, but I think you know what to expect. You know,
totally.
You know what's coming.
So this coming week for archery opener, we're doing like a pretty high on my list of hunts I've wanted to do for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years anyways. We're doing this I'm trying to think about how to say it without giving it away. I'll just call it a high country archery hunt, but I'm doing it with my buddy Sky, and like my whole goal is for him to shoot his first archery animal, right? And my buddy Devin might come, and like I think no matter what happens, it's going to be a grind. And I think if we have to, and he has to arrow a deer way in the back there, like I can't wait, because just like he's never experienced that level of suck on a pack out, you know. But it'll be like, it's just like I'll be in all my glory, you know. Like it's like I get to pay it forward to someone else. You know what I mean?
Has he done any like gnarly hikes?
He's done a couple good backpack trips with another buddy of ours that unfortunately can't come. But I think like if he puts an arrow through a deer, this will be the gnarliest by far. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that sounds like a time.
I'm pretty psyched. I got some intel from a few different guys, and because I found this spot on my own, and then I started asking guys that seemed like they would have been there, and they were like, where'd you find out about that? I'm like, nowhere, I found it. Like, no, you didn't. Who told you? You know? So it's like, I feel like it's going to be pretty good, but we'll see. It might suck.
That's been my hobby lately, is this. I go on YouTube and type in Alberta bighorn hunts, and I find out where these guys are hunting and I dropped today. I found out this one guy, they killed I don't want to say, but they killed some bighorns.
Yeah.
I found the rock that they took the field photos on.
Are you going to drop a pin in the description of this?
I dropped a pin where they shot from, and I dropped a pin where they fucking ram died. They actually killed 2 rams. And I was just like, So just a tip to everyone out there. There's always some fucking motherfucker like me lurking. I'm just lurking. Yeah. I'm just like a pike coming up at last light in the weeds, just chasing all that, chasing those little minnows around there. That's me, man.
You're just smashing bait fish.
That's me. Don't post any of your sheep hunts. And I found like, dude, one of them, the guy, this is how dumb people are. So they killed a couple bighorns on this one hunt. Mm-hmm. And in the hunt, he's got a GoPro on his head. So he's like videotaping his hike in. And he's looking at the map on his phone. So it doesn't say where they are, but I just paused it. I looked at the features, took a screenshot, took a screenshot, and I found it in like 10 minutes. And then then where they shot, and then they were like, videotaping after they're doing their field photos. And then that same thing, I dropped the pin right where that ram was.
I have two stories just like that. One is a very popular YouTuber in BC. And I think he's sponsored by a mapping system. So they always like cut to shot of so-and-so looking at the map. And it's like literally a live location of where he is. And he's like glassing deer. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, kind of a dick move, not gonna lie. And then another one, a good buddy of mine, for the purpose of this will remain anonymous, a really good buddy of mine, he actually called me last night. He's like, hey, I was looking at this province of BC study, yada yada yada, and there's this map that shows like density levels at different times, yada yada yada. And he's like, they got tricky, yada yada, but he's like, I figured out how to put it on top of this other map, and I found some. I don't want to give away too much, but anyways, he found basically the results of this study, and that he's able to put it on top of where he's hunting for deer density, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, but like, I'm not that guy that's just gonna like poach somebody's spot, but you're going there. I'm going. So next year, me and a buddy are going to this spot because there's a couple things. It's gnarly. It's a motherfucker to get to. Mm-hmm. And so I don't want to give away too much, but the rams in there are fucking so they showed other rams that they didn't kill that were fucking shooter rams. And I'm like, okay. So I'm just like, yeah, you guys maybe should just be careful, like when you film stuff, because I know everyone wants to be a famous YouTube hunter, but watch those backgrounds, boy, because fucking I'm here. I ain't got nothing but shadows. I got nothing but time. I'm just cruising fucking YouTube, dropping pins.
I'm pretty good at sleuthing too. I have definitely figured out some spots that I've seen online, and a lot of times it's like a good way to cross them off your list to not waste time in though too.
Yeah. So this last one I found, I don't want to give away too much, but how I found it was a parking lot.
Oh yeah.
That's how I narrowed it. That's how I narrowed it down, was a fucking trailhead. I'm like, they posted, and they didn't post a bunch. They didn't post a bunch, but they posted enough of the trailhead that I just hopped on Google, and I'm like, how many of these trailheads are out there? And it's like 5. So I just narrowed them down. I went to each trailhead on Google Maps. I'm like, hey, this is the trailhead. And then I fucking zoomed up the creek. I'm like, they went up this fucking creek. Boom, done.
This is true, man. It's some guys don't care though, right? Because a lot of these guys are doing hunts. They're never going to do it again. So they just upload the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
I actually had this conversation. We keep talking about Jay from Mindful today, but I had this conversation with Jay from Mindful the other day because he was worried that he was giving away his spot in his video. That's what I said to him. I was like, okay, 2 things. Anybody that knows anything about archery knows where you were. And then the other component of it is you made a point of not blowing it up. Like, you show skylines and stuff, but it's not a secret.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Like there's a pretty, I don't hunt BC sheep and I know that area.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a very,
but I was like, you're good. You're good. I would feel good about it. I wouldn't stress, but, some guys do seriously blow up spots that they shouldn't, and like, I see it all the time on social media, skylines and stuff like that. I honestly hardly ever post anything that, has to do with me on social media anymore, like of my hunts and stuff. Like, I've posted a few goat photos from our hunts, but they have like literally throwaway backgrounds in them. Like, they're like, 40 kilometers from where we shot, right?
It's like fucking scary how easy it is to match peaks and terrain features.
Oh yeah, especially on Google Earth now, when you can go on to like ground view and then pan the direction. Woo, not bad.
Like, just so everybody knows, like, if you take your field photo, make sure it's just like of a shale slide, like no peaks, no like distinguishing features. Don't even do like, when you're doing like, I know everyone wants to show like where they are with the the view, right, of the pretty country.
Yeah.
But I could pick it up. I can pick up features in fucking cuts and different things. I can find it.
Yeah, that's true, man. I mean, unless you have a throwaway photo, like say you take your morning sunrise photo at somewhere that isn't where you're actually hunting. Good. Use that. Throw them off.
Yeah, you could do that too.
Right. You know,
it's just something to watch. It's something to watch.
I don't want to post trail cam photos anymore. I don't want to post. I don't want to post. Yeah. I don't really like posting grip and grins either. Just like, it's pretty like, I don't know, elk and blacktail and muley. Like a lot of these places I hunt now, I'm hunting over and over again. And I've had quite a few times where people are like, hey, check out this blacktail. And it's like, I know where the blacktail lives. Like I know where that photo was taken. You know, I think I've told this story before on the podcast, but I was hunting one specific area and I had been for like 3 or 4 years. And me and a buddy of mine were trading photos and we were sending each other photos of the same deer. And like we weren't hunting together at all. We just happened to be, 500 or 600 yards in thick country apart from each other. And now we hunt it together. We've combined forces to still not kill it, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Are you gonna come out west this year at all, or are we gonna try to get you on a blacktail or something?
Probably not.
No.
And I want to do something big next year.
Yeah. Yeah, like we'll go try to find Boo or find Fire Ty's jet boat and go for a rip.
Like I'm probably gonna do in Alberta next year. I'm probably gonna do 2 bighorn hunts for sure next year.
2?
Yeah, well, I'll go. It depends. Like if I kill something, I probably won't go on the second one. But
can I parachute out to where you are?
You want drop a pin?
Yeah, helicopter me in. Can you helicopter in Alberta?
I don't know.
Can't in BC.
Maybe you can.
Can't BC. I actually tried to hire a helicopter for a fishing trip I wanted to do with my buddy Matt, and I had it all dialed, and I found a spot for them to land and everything for us. And then there's apparently you can't land a helicopter in a provincial park.
Well,
so,
you can.
Yeah, I mean, if it was my helicopter, I would. Like, fuck it. But
yeah.
You can't do that with somebody else's. So, and you definitely can't for hunting in BC. But they do up in NWT all the time in Alaska, right? They hunt out of helicopters.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's wild. That kind of seems like cheating a little bit.
Wow, it's no different. It's no different than fucking Alaska guys that just buzz fucking mountain ranges in their super cubs to spot rams and then land and then hike. Ooh,
yeah.
There's no secrets what's going on. Like, oh, we waited 24 hours. Okay, sure.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, if they're spotting rams from the air, land the plane, get their shit together, hike up the mountain, you're not shooting same day anyways. So
yeah, like they're doing it with everything. They do it with moose and shit. They just buzz it, find it, land, kill it the next day.
Nice.
I don't know if
we should finish off our thoughts on the Kafaru harness. I really like mine. I'm stoked on it. I'll be I need to figure out a nice way to mount my Zolio on it, or I'm going back to flipping it on the pack, because the Sitka had a nice slot that it fit in, and it would update through the fabric on the Zolio or on the Sitka. So I got to figure that out on the Kafaru, because I do like to keep the Zolio on my persons for when I drop my bag. It's nice to be able to send Wacey a message like, hey, there's a giant fucking goat over here, get over here. And
I don't think I'm bringing a Zolio this year.
Oh, you got some other thing, right?
No, I never did order it, but I don't want to bring anything. I'm not going to bring anything.
Just die?
I'm just going to do it how we used to do it. I don't know. I kind of feel like I just want to get away from fucking communication altogether. We used to sheep hunt when I was a kid. Nobody had anything.
Yeah, but that's just because it didn't exist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what. Well, I don't know. I say that now. I might fire it up, but
it's pretty nice to check in with your old lady, you know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know. My thoughts on the Kifaru Bino harness.
Hit me with your thoughts, and then we'll sign off, and we'll do another one of these tomorrow, and we'll get a couple done.
I like it. I like the harness, and I like the. I think they nailed it. I think they nailed the straps for your shoulders.
Yeah.
See, with Sitka, they got one that goes around your back. Okay, so they have your shoulder straps and then your back, which I wasn't a fan of, but I know why they did it.
Yeah.
With Kifaru, I don't know how they did it, but they must have changed their angles and shit because they don't have that one that goes around your waist or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I like that. I think they nailed it, to be honest. I think they nailed it.
Yeah, I really like it. I'll have it out on my first hunt here next week. So I will report back if I went for a fall and lost my binos out of it. And I'm in the market for binos because they exploded. But I foresee it working well, especially I do like the profile of the straps too for under a pack frame. It's pretty nice.
Well, I seen some guy, there was one guy on their website. He was bitching that it didn't have any tethers for the binos. Me personally, I cut them off. I hate tethers. I never had tethers on anything. I cut them off. Get them the fuck out of the way. I hate them.
I like to use shock cord on a quick release on mine, but I'm going to run it without for now and see how I like it. I kind of just want to run it as it comes. That way, I don't know. People ask me for gear opinions and like hunting advice all the time. And I always tell people like, I'm not the person to get opinions and gear advice and hunting advice from. Like, I will always refer you to someone else for the most part, unless it's something I've been using for like 4 or 5 years, but I'm not your guy.
Yeah. Like with the gear you can find will work.
Yeah.
Right. If you got a used backpack and fucking, you can find good gear that's like at them nature hiking stores, MEC and all that shit.
Yeah. Well, not MEC. They're anti-hunting, but everybody else.
Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? No, but like you don't have to buy Kuya and Sitka and shit. Like you don't have to do that.
Yeah, I agree. I run Prana pants half the season and like, a lot of OR.
You can get like Outdoor Research makes wicked gear. You can do a lot of hunting on a budget. Pretty fucking easy, I think.
100%.
And your bag won't weigh 80 pounds either.
When do you... Oh, we'll do another one of these before we go on our next hunt. But
all right. Yeah. Are you going to release this one or what?
Yeah. We'll drop this one tonight and then we'll keep it rolling. Well, so sorry for the long layoff, boys, but we've been busy doing life.
Oh, man. I'm fucking wide open right now.
Yeah. Wide open into hunting season and then forget it.
Like my summer is like was gone, moving very fast pace.
Yeah, I can't believe it's August right now, and in a week it's September. But that's good. Time to go shoot some shit and have some fun.
That's it.
Okay, that's it. That's all. Let's talk soon.
Signing out.
Yeah, Wacedog out.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe and leave us a review. You can follow us on Instagram @WildernessLocals.